What is going on, everybody? Sharp Eyes here, welcoming you back to another Last of Us collectible guide for the PS5. So, in our previous chapter, we went ahead and covered the quarantine zone. As you can see, we collected 7 artifacts, 3 Firefly Pendants, and also 4 optional conversations. Now, for those of you keeping score at home and just following along with your notes, just to see if you may be missing anything, definitely continue on, because as we progress through the game, we're gonna see more and more collectibles being tracked just the way it's showing here. So sit back, relax, don't worry about it. We're gonna cover it chapter by chapter. So for those of you that are missing any kind of collectible, we'll make sure to cover everything in detail as we proceed through the game. So without further ado, go ahead, grab your notes, get that cup of coffee going, and let's go ahead and jump right into the outskirts. Okay, guys, so when you are able to take control over Joel, instead of doing the optional conversation right away, let's just go ahead and head into this back room here, because this is going to be the first artifact that we're going to collect in this chapter. Once you've collected this, now go ahead and return to Tess, and then that way you can go ahead and initiate the next optional conversation. And I believe this will be optional conversation number 5.
I think it's a bit strange that they're having us do their smuggling.
Marlene wanted to do it herself. We weren't their first choice, or the second for that matter. She's lost a lot of men. Beggars can't be choosers.
You know, I just hope there's someone alive to pay us.
What is the deal with you? You some bigwig's daughter or something? Something like that. How long
So immediately after getting off the elevator, go ahead and turn to the right, and the next artifact is going to be right here next to this pile of rubble. So go ahead and just pick it up, and that'll be the next artifact in this area. Okay, so once you exit the tunnel and start climbing up on the intersection here, you want to stick to the right side next to, I guess, this broken down vehicle. But right here by the trash can, you're going to pick up another artifact.
Bomb the hell out of the surrounding areas to the quarantine zones, hoping to kill as much of the infected as possible.
And once you make it through that building structure, you want to actually go ahead and stick to the right side. This is another one of those changes that they made. As you can see that the Firefly Pendant is on this tree. Go ahead, just take your brick. Remember how I was mentioning before, I didn't have a brick, but that's what you really want to do. You want to go ahead, use a brick versus shooting it down, so that way you can conserve your ammo. For those of you that do remember the remastered version and also the original, you remember that the Firefly Pendant was originally on this tree up here. You know, so another one of those changes that they made in the game. All right, so continuing on, once you pick up the Firefly Pendant, you want to go ahead and head through this door here, and that's going to trigger the 6th optional conversation.
It's been ripped apart. Body's pretty fresh.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it might be. Let's not stick around.
But after you have spoken with Tess in regards to the dead body, go ahead and proceed through this door. Excuse me, young lady. And you're going to be picking up another artifact on this dead body here.
Another one. Shit.
So shortly after being attacked by the clicker, you want to go ahead and proceed into the next door here, as this is going to be the very first Shiv Door that we're going to be going after. So once you pick up the Molotov cocktail next to this dead Firefly, what you want to do is you want to head up these stairs here to the next dead body. And right here, you're going to pick up the next artifact. Okay, so now once you get over to, I guess, what looks like the train station area, you want to go ahead and head over to this, I guess, convenience store or gift shop. And what you want to do is you want to go around the counter And this artifact here is actually going to contain the combination for the safe. So it's going to be 034378. And the reason why I mentioned that is, unlike the remastered version, you actually need to put the combination in, just like in The Last of Us Part 2. So that's what I do like about this remake, is that a lot of improvements or upgrades, I should say, that they did incorporate in The Last of Us Part 2, they've actually added to this remade version here. So again, keep a look on the combo for the safe code, because you're going to have to put that manually. So once you collected that artifact, go ahead and just keep going straight. I went ahead and I took out pretty much everyone in the area just for convenience purposes. So just go ahead and continue straight, because you want to enter this door here. And the safe is actually going to be right around the counter. And like how I previously mentioned, you need to put it manually. So the code was 034378. Okay, so once you exit the tunnel, keep going straight into this big building here. It looks more like a federal court building. So inside, you want to take out the 3 runners that are just standing there. So the reason for that is you wouldn't go ahead and take this big moving platform. Looks more like a chest of some sorts. But what you're going to want to do is go ahead and keep pushing it, because we want to use it to climb over the semi that's right in front of us. Because the next artifact that we're going to collect is actually inside this the trailer.
Climb on up.
So go ahead and climb up, down, and then just drop down here. And then this is a bigger opening than I remember. But yeah, the artifact is going to be right here on the right side of the pallet. Go ahead and just pick it up. So after that close encounter,
How do we get
it's
out
like a
of this
loading
place?
dock. Go ahead and climb up to this platform here and then make a left, because this is going to actually give us our very first workbench.
So Marlene thinks you're immune?
Well, that's what she believes.
Now, one thing to notice, and this was the same for The Last of Us Part 2, even if you don't have enough bits to upgrade your gun, go ahead and inspect the workbench anyway, because it's still going to count towards your collectible. So just make sure you inspect it, upgrade your gun as you see fit, and then go ahead and continue on. Okay, so now once you are in the room with the little ramp heading upwards. Oh boy, Ellie. Clumsy. Anyway, you want to go ahead and climb up to the the left side here, and just shimmy all the way across to that broken display case, because that's where our next Firefly Pendant is going to be at. So now once you are separated with Tess and Ellie, you want to make your way very, very slowly in this area here, because I don't know if you're in the same situation as me, but I was running low on Shivs at this point. And the reason for that is that this is going to be our second Shiv Door here, but you want to be very, very careful in this area here. So go ahead and use your Shiv and go ahead and get through the next Shiv Door here.
It's too damn close.
So after the fight that you have in this big area, you're going to want to go ahead and stay next to Tess and go ahead and initiate the 7th optional conversation.
Look this way. This will get us to the roof.
Now, immediately following that, go ahead and speak with Ellie for your 8th optional conversation.
How about you, kid? You okay?
Define okay.
Are you still breathing?
Do small panicked breaths count?
Yeah, they count.
Right?
So the conversation with Ellie is missable if you don't initiate the conversation with her. So you just want to make sure that you stay in that general area when the pop-up appears. Otherwise, you can miss that second optional conversation.
Let's keep moving, kid.
Okay, so once you take control over Joe after the cutscene, go ahead and just follow Tess and Ellie down the stairs. And immediately after you get to the ground level, make a U-turn and head straight to the back next to this dead Firefly soldier and go ahead and pick up the next artifact. Okay, so now you want to be very cautious with this next one because this next collectible is actually very missable if you don't know where to look.
Just so it's
So
out there,
now
I can't
that we're here at the Capitol building,
Looks like it's
go
shallow
ahead
on
and
the right
stay
side.
to the left because what we want to do is head over to that gazebo, because from there that's where the Firefly is going to be at. It's going to be submerged underwater. So just go ahead and head toward the gazebo. Go ahead and cut through this opening, and there it is. Okay, so now in this area here, you're gonna want to make your way all the way through this debris. One thing I noticed about this remake is that it just makes it like really more detailed, which I get, but at the same time too, you know, the colors are intensified and whatnot, so it's kind of murky under the water. But anyway, once you come back up from the surface, go ahead and head over to this platform here, because the next artifact that we need to collect is actually going to be right next to this dead body here. Now, shortly after collecting that, go ahead and make a left into, I guess, this rubble here. No, Ellie, we're not going to leave you. So go ahead and continue swimming. Now, stay under the water here, and in this right here, yeah, this little shelving area, this is going to be the next and final collectible we're going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and collect this pendant and then just head over to the surface here. So guys, that is going to be it for the outskirts portion of this video. So please, if this guide has helped you in any way, shape, or form, please consider subscribing and liking this video, as it will also help me in the YouTube algorithm. And also, it'll just help me to continue to produce content for you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And I'll go ahead and see you guys in Bill's Town.